I called out my cousin when she tried to blame her body odor on me. So I'm 18 and I've been staying with my cousin Jess in Florida for the summer. She's 19 and honestly we've always gotten along pretty well. I'm from Ontario and her family offered to let me stay with them while I figure out what I'm doing after high school. It's been cool so far. Her parents work a lot, so it's mostly just been me and Jess hanging out. The day this happened, Jess had been running around all morning. We went to the mall, walked around this outdoor market thing, and it was like 90 degrees outside. By the time we got to this restaurant for lunch, we were both pretty sweaty, but Jess had this smell, like actual body odor. I didn't say anything because honestly, who cares? It was hot. We were outside. It happens. Her boyfriend Evan was supposed to meet us there. Jess had been talking about him nonstop since I got here. How hot he is, how he's in college, how obsessed he is with her. I'd never met him before. When he showed up, he kissed her on the cheek and she introduced us. He seemed nice enough. We all sat down at this table outside and ordered drinks. That's when Evan made a face, like he smelled something bad. He didn't say anything, but I saw him look around a little. Jess saw it too. She got this panicked look on her face and I could tell she was freaking out. Then she leaned over to Evan and tried to whisper, but I was sitting right there. I heard every word. She said the smell is from me. She told him not to say anything. Like she literally threw me under the bus to save herself from being embarrassed in front of her boyfriend. I didn't even think. I just said the smell is not from me, out loud, right there at the table. Evan looked at me, then looked at Jess. Then he actually leaned in and smelled near her shoulder. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. He pulled back and kissed her on top of her head and said something like it's humanizing when such a beautiful woman gets smelly. Jess laughed, but it sounded so forced and fake. Her face was bright red. Lunch was super uncomfortable after that. Evan kept trying to make conversation, but Jess barely said anything. She kept looking at her phone and picking at her food. I tried to act normal, but it was obvious everyone was thinking about what just happened. When Evan left, he hugged Jess and told her he'd text her later. She just nodded. The car ride back to her house was dead silent for like 10 minutes. Then Jess turned to me and said I embarrassed her for no reason. She said I broke girl code by calling her out in front of Evan. I told her she literally tried to blame her smell on me. She said I should have just let it go and that Evan wouldn't have cared. I said if he wouldn't have cared, then why did she blame me? She said I made her look bad and now Evan probably thinks she's gross. I said that's not my fault. She tried to make me the scapegoat and I wasn't going to just sit there and take it. She rolled her eyes and said I was being dramatic, that it wasn't a big deal and I should have backed her up. I said backing her up doesn't mean letting her lie about me. When we got back to her house, she went straight to her room and slammed the door. I stayed in the living room and texted my mom about what happened. My mom said Jess was wrong for blaming me, but that I probably could have handled it better. I don't know how else I was supposed to handle it though. Was I supposed to just sit there and let her boyfriend think I was the one who smelled bad? Jess didn't come out of her room for the rest of the day. Her mom came home from work and asked why Jess was upset. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to make it worse. Jess told her mom we got into a fight but didn't say what it was about. Her mom just sighed and said we need to work it out because we're family. The next morning, Jess acted like nothing happened. She asked if I wanted to go to the beach with her and some friends. I said sure. We didn't talk about the restaurant thing, but I could tell she was still mad because she barely talked to me the whole day. Her friends kept asking if we were okay, and Jess just said we were fine. Evan texted her later that night and asked if she wanted to hang out. She said yes and asked if I wanted to come. I said no because I didn't want to deal with that again. She left and came back a few hours later. She seemed happy, so I guess things with Evan were fine. She still didn't apologize to me though.